And welcome to Control Alt Deplete.
What up? Is it really episode 30? Or we
This
did we miss
this
some
is
more?
no, this is episode 30.
Oh
We
jeez.
are there, my friend.
Hell yeah.
I
That's
am
awesome.
your host, Buck Blind, on the left side of your screen, and on the right side of your screen, we have our other host, Mr. Bioshock. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. And yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been like
Had
what,
some
2
three
3
weeks
weeks?
at this point, I believe. Yeah, had some other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Some random
Some
little
sick
things. Yeah, I was sick for
some sickness.
all
Yeah.
last week. Food poisoning for like 6 straight days. Wonderful.
I mean, to be fair, like all the stuff we would have covered the last couple weeks would have been changed by today anyways,
Right.
basically. So it's not like you guys are missing out on stuff. I'm sure we'll have to fix up some stuff for saying today next week or something.
For sure. Turn the music up just a little bit. I don't know how. Yeah, it's probably fine. There we go. Anyway, let's jump into it. So we have the resets 2 days ago. So this week's affixes are tyrannical, incorporeal, and spiteful. So incorporeal, make sure you've got your paralysis, your demon cages in prison, all your good stuff that you need for
Wait a
to
second.
those.
Can you CC those with stuns, or is it just like those CCs?
You can with stuns, but the stuns
But
will
it's not long
only...
enough.
Yeah, so they stay up for 20 seconds, so they have to be stopped for 20 seconds.
Okay, so I can just blind to my rogue.
Yes, so if you use a stun, it will work and it'll stay stunned for the duration. But once the stun's over, it'll start casting again. So really, the only good stuns to use on it would be like Paladin's Hammer of Justice, because it's like a 6-second stun, so that gives time for people to get it taken care of. Or a cheap shot stun would also be good. But yeah, usually it's best to just get a permanent handle on it.
I mean, not starting, but like when the next patch comes out, I guess you could say starting next patch, the incorporeal like things I can be taken care of by rogues with their AoE blind that's on a 40-second cooldown.
True. That'll be good.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I think they'd have blind up for every one too, wouldn't they?
I think so. Yeah, because I think
the blind's like a 40-something second cooldown. I thought.
I'm trying to remember if it's 30 seconds or 45. I think it's 45 seconds that they. I think incorporeal is a 45-second cooldown before they. So every 45 seconds, anywhere from 0 to 2 can spawn. So sometimes none spawn at all. Those are the best spawn numbers.
I think I did like half of a Vortex Pinnacle, and like hardly saw any until like the second half of the dungeon.
Right.
Just like that RG.
But in other news, that's right. We're gonna go ahead and cover this real quick because people may have already noticed. People who listen regularly may have already noticed. So we have some new lo-fi beats from Blizzard, which is what we are currently playing. I know you can't hear it, Bio, but so we currently have playing instead of our typical music.
Yeah.
So we've got the WoW lo-fi beats chilling in the background. So they're pretty good. I like them.
Yeah, I like the ones that they released in Shadowlands because they had like kind of like a different like sound for each of the covenants.
Gotcha.
So that was pretty cool. Cause like I used to like even recently I will actually listen to a little bit, but like I'd listen to like their the mix they had, and it was like 8 hours, something like that. I don't know, but
nice. Yeah, this is a 3-hour mix.
It was good.
There's a 3-hour mix. They said it is going to be coming to Spotify next month, I believe is what they said.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but yeah, check out the YouTube. It's on the World of Warcraft YouTube page. It's a 3-hour video, so it's got some nice little music.
With Jaina is the
Jaina
the main.
Jaina is lo-fi girl, basically, or whatever.
Yep.
They nice little parody that they did.
Yeah.
But yes. Anyway, on to what you were talking about. The BlizzCon bundles are now out and available to be bought. I bought mine a little bit ago. You want to take us through? You want to take us through some of the stuff that's in there?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't have the link. Hold on. BlizzCon 3 bundle. Okay, so, sorry, I had to bring them up.
All good.
So they for this BlizzCon, you have like you have the Epic Pack and the Legendary Pack.
Right.
So like obviously the Legendary Pack will have everything that the Epic Pack has plus more, but some of the things that you can get with just Epic Pack is some Diablo stuff like a mount, a flag, and like a appearance of some sort. Then you have some Overwatch stuff with like looks like I actually don't know points for chess. I don't know what that icon is really, but there's some Hearthstone stuff. So I know Lynn should like that. They have the World of Warcraft one and the Epic Pack is just the BlizzCon banner. You can place it down and then you can click it, and the banner goes onto your back for like an hour. And it's a pretty cool looking banner actually, and it's like a couple minute cooldown, so you can have it on yourself permanently if you really wanted to. You get a little pet, a little Murloc, which is cool too.
Nice.
And then the Legendary Pack comes with another mount for the Diablo 4 game. Some more. I think the back of the cards is what the thing is for Hearthstone.
Yes, yeah, card packs.
Yeah, and then we have like some skins for Overwatch, and some stuff for the WoW Rumble thing. Is that what it's called?
Probably, yes. I have not played it, so I have no idea how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either, but they have stuff for that too. And then, of course, they have the BlizzCon mount for World of Warcraft players and the Legendary Pack, which is like an interesting take on like an elemental, kind of. Right, and obviously, because BlizzCon, they usually have like a winter theme to a lot of their stuff that they have at BlizzCon. So it kind of matches into that too. So.
Yeah, and I still feel like the mount looks like the one we just got for the trading post. I don't know. I like that.
The trading one?
Yeah, the trading post mount that we just got looks a lot like the one for the BlizzCon one. I feel like.
I don't think so personally.
I thought it looked really similar. Like whenever you showed me the BlizzCon one yesterday, I thought you were on the Infernal mount.
If you go on the Infernal and back and forth, you'll see pretty big differences. But yeah, you'll see. Just test it out later. But the let's see. I guess it says right here. So the Diablo has the horses. Overwatch has the skins as well as the Season 7 Premium Battle Pass. Hearthstone, a mystery signature legendary card. Yeah, and Warcraft Rumble, the Murloc Tower skin. I don't know. I think maybe that game is like a tower defense. Maybe is that what I'm? Maybe
I have no idea.
I honestly, to be honest, I've never heard about it until I bought this pack, and I was like, oh,
I've heard about it, but I just don't know what it is. I don't think it's available for the. I feel like it's still in beta right now, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
It's very cartoonish, so it'll go well with the mobile games that are already out.
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be a mobile game.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool because I mean, like I don't really play mobile games that often, but I'm actually considering testing it out because it looks interesting. And I mean, mobile games are fun to do when you're like just chilling in bed or something. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I think the price is actually not that bad. I think for Canadian wise, I think I paid $64 for the Epic Pack or Legendary Pack. I mean, where the Epic Pack was like $38 or something. So it's really not that expensive.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's that.
Yep, and the other next little bit of news we have is we do have a new permanent augment rune coming in the next patch. The Dreambound augment rune. It is
Now,
100,000 gold. Woohoo!
yes,
And you must
yeah,
be 18 renown with the new
now
faction.
that could take a month or two, eh?
Yeah, that'll take a little bit of getting there. I still am not even max renown with Loam Nifim. I got it. I got a real good strong start and was like renown 8 or 9
And you're
like
like,
after
screw
the first
this.
couple weeks, and then I've barely done anything down there. I need to
Yeah,
pick that back up just to max it out because my Demon Hunter has all the other renowns maxed out, so I might as well max out that one as well.
yeah,
But we'll get that done eventually before the end of the expansion.
yeah. I now my question, I think I already know the answer, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Do you think the augment rune will be account wide? I
No,
highly doubt it.
no, it's never been account wide.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I was like, I was thinking maybe for the price of 100K, maybe they'll make it like a toy kind of deal. Like, I don't know.
Blizzard's not that nice. They want
well,
you. They want you to buy
wishful
more WoW
thinking.
tokens.
Yeah, wishful thinking. And going over real quick, it's double the price of the last couple expansions where they had their permanent run. I think because the last 3 were all around 50K.
Yes.
So I don't know. I 100K. I mean, I have the gold, and I'm gonna get it.
Same. Yeah.
But it's just expensive.
I'll get it on my Demon Hunter because my Demon Hunter is the only one that's probably gonna max out renown with that group.
True.
So,
Yeah, I'm not.
you know.
If I'm doing it on my rogue, I'm not doing it on any other tunes.
Yeah.
18. If it was like renown 10, I'd consider doing it for alts. But 18, that's a lot.
Yeah. The most I would do would be my Demon Hunter and then my Monk.
Yeah.
I will probably. I don't know if I'll have to get that for Race to World first stuff, but we'll see. Maybe. Anyway, but yeah. So that's coming out. So feel free to save up some gold and farm your renown and get that.
Yeah.
All right. So our next subject here, we have the Oasis charity event, which Oasis is an EU guild. I believe they might also have an NA one. I'm not sure, but they are doing a charity event throughout the month of October. And that is the Spooktacular Streamathon 2023. It is in partnership with Raider.io, Dungeon Jojo, and the guild Honolulu. They are working on raising money for Gamers Outreach, which is, I believe, an organization that works with like mental health crisis type situations for gamers, stuff like that. It just helps with promoting good mental health and all that kind of stuff. So, good cause. Check them out. So this is going on. They've had all sorts of events going on nearly every week, 2, 3, 4 events a week usually.
Yeah.
So they've got some nice casters for our event here. We've got Adine, Bowser, Kexman, which a lot of you may know Kexman from the Method Race for World First events. You got Party Pete, Patience Bee, Sam Talks. I believe he works a lot with Liquid and their Race for World First stuff. And you also have Thor. So these guys are casters. Some of the casters that they've got. I think they probably have a few more as well. And then they have different monetary goals for donating. So we've got $500 is a donut challenge. I believe. I don't know if they've hit this or not yet. They might have hit some of these goals already. But yes, the donut challenge. $1,000. They're gonna shave their eyebrows.
Oh jeez.
1,500. Thor will be dyeing his hair. $2,000. They've got a Hot Ones challenge. I imagine that's hot wings.
Oh, I bet.
$2,500. Sam Talks versus Pilk. Honestly, not sure what that is.
It's a boxing match.
It could be. You never know. $3,000. A WoW spelling bee. That would be interesting to see. That could be really interesting to watch. Really hilarious to watch. $3,500. Caster face tattoos. You asked me this a minute ago whether these are real tattoos or like a temporary one. I don't know.
I would assume
I don't know.
Not permanent. If it was permanent, I think it would be 5,000.
Right? Yeah.
That's even worth it. That's a face tattoos for a commitment.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would imagine they're probably like some henna tattoos or something. I don't know.
Girl.
But you never know. Maybe we've got
Yeah,
some
maybe
really
they are.
committed casters. You never know.
Yeah.
And then the 4,000, 4,500, and 5,000 milestones are all mystery milestones. I'm not sure what those are going to be. I don't have quite that inside of a view.
Yeah.
But yes, so those are the Oasis events that are going on. Give me 1 second here, and I'll let you know. This week they've got um tonight. I think they're currently live. Actually, they've got Villain Key Mythic Plus keys going on right now. Tomorrow night we've got some North American key carries, so they do have stuff going on the NA side. Then on Saturday they've got some more NA key carry and some Scribblio art. So check that out. They are at twitch.tv/oasis_wow. So check out that stream, donate some money to help out a good cause. And then also on October 28th, and I'll have more information as we get closer to this, but October 28th, I believe it is 6 a.m. Eastern and noon until noon, somewhere in that range. Actually, I don't know if it's I don't know what the duration is, but I think it starts at 6 a.m. Eastern. There will be a speed leveling event that's going on. It's like a speed leveling bingo card event. So, from my understanding, you get points for like gaining levels and knocking out tasks on the bingo cards. I'm not sure yet of the full rules, but I will be participating in that. So tune in. Some of y'all may be asleep at that point in time when we start, but tune in once you wake up and check that out and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But that'll be October 28th. It is a Saturday. And next up, when is 10.2 releasing? So there's a lot of speculation that it'll be November 7th.
That's the weekend after BlizzCon, right?
Yes, that is the Tuesday right after BlizzCon.
There's definitely not going to be before BlizzCon. At least I highly doubt it.
I agree. They're not going to have... Well, so here's the thing. It's guaranteed it will not be before BlizzCon because they have the guild clash going on. So you've got 4 top guilds: Method, Liquid, Echo, and I can't remember who the other guild is. My apologies to them. It's the big 3 and then another. I think it's Golden Guardians. It's Golden Guardians, I think. I want to say that's who it is. Guild Clash BlizzCon is... Yes, Golden Guardians is the force. Yeah, okay. Echo, Golden Guardians, Liquid, and Method. So they've got that. They've got 3v3 arena PvP. They've got Mythic Plus dungeon races, and then a new content showcase is the only info they have for the third event for the Guild Clash. So I don't know what that means. That could be, maybe it's a battleground thing. Who knows? Do not know. But yeah, so it's a guarantee we won't have it launch before BlizzCon, because otherwise your three of your Race to World your top 3 Race to World first guilds will be at BlizzCon instead of getting ready for the raid. So I do not expect that we'll see it in the 7th or on before BlizzCon. The 7th seems to be when most people are speculating it. I would agree. Probably the 7th is when it's going to launch. My question, though, is, are we going to have it... Patch comes out, and then a week later the raid launches? Or will the raid launch right as the patch comes out? I don't know. But I think 10.2 comes out on November 7th is my guess.
Yeah.
It's okay. Possible it comes out the week after, but my guess is the raid will come out the week after. What are your thoughts?
I like, you make a good point. People are gonna be at BlizzCon. They're gonna be busy for a while, so it makes sense for it not to be before. Obviously, there's no chance it's before BlizzCon. if it's not the week after, it's the week after that. There's like,
right.
Yeah, they're not gonna hold it off for that much longer when they have like.
Yeah,
they did a lot of testing this 10.2, I think, which is pretty good.
And the other thing I think that makes it probably 11.7 the most likely is that they don't want to launch it right before Thanksgiving. Like they don't, because you got Thanksgiving here in America. I know you Canadians do it at a different time, but here in America,
yeah, we already had it.
We have Thanksgiving should be the 23rd or the 30th. I think it's 23rd because it's 23rd. So that's actually pushing really close. Is it the 23rd? One second here.
You're good.
I think it's the 23rd. Yeah, it's the 23rd. That's actually pretty early on. So I'm gonna say we get November 7th, patch and raid comes out November 7th, right off the bat.
Ooh. Okay.
Because otherwise you give your raiders the raiders have a week and a day to get the raid completed before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I think November 7th we get the release for both the patch and the raid.
And the raid, okay. Cool. All right.
Take us into the 10.2
content. Okay, so if you don't know and you play Boomkin, you're gonna be very happy because they're finally adding Boomkin appearances, like for the Moonkin form. It's pretty cool because like that's something that they've never had. Because in Legion, the Mage Tower gave them a weapon and not an appearance like Guardian and Feral. So it's cool for balanced druids to get that kind of attention because I think, like, appearance-wise, was needed if you want to be playing in a Boomkin spec. So, if you haven't seen them, go ahead and take a look. They're very cool. There's, I think, there's multiple appearances. I'm looking right now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 or 6 appearances. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So I checked them out. I'm not sure exactly how you get them because you have to do something to get them. And from what I was reading earlier, I think one of the appearances you get from killing Fyrak. So
interesting. So yeah, you have a lot. There's several different actual colors. And then you have different antler styles as well. Now, I will say this. While these models definitely look better than the current Boomkin model, you're still a giant chicken.
Yeah.
And then also, so then my question is, what about other, like the Kultirans? They don't... I think the Kultirans and the Zandalari trolls, they don't look like chickens. They have different bird appearances. So are they getting customizations or no?
Yes, it's for all Boomkins.
Well, what I'm saying is they don't use the boom chickens. Like that's not their Boomkin form.
Oh, so how it works is how the Feral works. You go to the barber or whatever, and you can pick your appearance from like in the when you go into the barber shop. There's like tabs, like how you could change like your cat form and your bear form, that kind of stuff.
Not that I'm saying. So like Zandalari trolls, when they are in Boomkin form, they are not a chicken. They are a completely different type of bird. They're a dinosaur type bird. So it doesn't fit with any of these custom. Will they?
Yeah.
I don't feel like they would be able to change that. I feel like this would only be normal class druids.
From what I'm seeing, it just says customization for balanced druids in general for Moonkin form. So I'm just going off
right here.
What I'm reading.
Full transformation likely encapsulate forms that deviate from the base one, like Kultiran or Zandalari troll forms. So, okay, I see. Okay, so they have a full transformation ability, so it looks like you will be able to do that from this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because they have, like, Kultirans have a weird skeleton bird looking thing, and Zandalari have like the dinosaur bird thing. They both look terrible, but
they do look terrible.
So does the regular Boomkin as well. But even these are definitely an improvement, and having customization is always great. But at the end of the day, you're still a giant chicken.
I don't know. I don't know if we covered it, but I'll just quickly go over it as well. So we don't have it in our notes, but like I said, I don't know if we covered it, but I think I don't know if it's out right now for its next patch. All the appearances for like the Warlock's demons, I think that's out right now actually. I think it came out in 0.7. The Warlock has like the new Imp, Succubus, Fell Hunter, Voidwalker, Felguard, all that stuff. They have different appearances for that as well. So that's pretty cool. You get some like more customization for classes that really haven't had any customizations for that kind of stuff in a long time.
For sure. Yep.
You
want to take us through the crest being currency now?
Yes. So don't be alarmed when you start getting when you're finishing dungeons and you don't see anything in bags, because it goes right to your currency tab. And I think they're sticking with the 12 for finishing key and timing it, and 5 for finishing key and not timing it. They just be full on dream crest. Do they have to? Is it still like you make like 15 into like a big one, or how does that work?
Yeah, it'll still be. Well, no. So what it'll be is
just more in general.
So if you when you're upgrading, it'll cost 15 crests to upgrade like one level. So it'll all still be the same thing. It's just essentially what has happened is they're getting rid of the crest fragments, and the crests are taking the place of the crest fragments.
Yeah. Okay.
So
so that's handy because like it takes up when you're doing like all the content you're progressing through. You have like a lot of like extra ones.
Yes.
I spent selling like my well-played ones because like there's no use for them.
Right.
But it'd be nice to have it like just out of my bags in general, which is handy.
Yeah, I've been holding on to mine just because I was hoping they would get some kind of use, but probably because I think once 10.2 comes out, actually this is probably a good thing to take note of. When 10. I noticed on PTR, all your fragments and crests from this season are just gone. So I would say when you are done upgrading everything and patch 10.2 is the next day, sell all of them, because otherwise they're just going to disappear. So I would definitely recommend just selling them at the end if they haven't given us something else to spend them on, which I don't think they will.
Yeah.
But now there are so to get the enchanted thing, there is something else that I'm not sure. I haven't looked exactly how it works. I think it's a vendor that for the cost of 15. So for the cost of like 15 aspect dreaming crest, you get a single item that is a reagent, and you still need to have 4 of that item in order to then craft the enchanted aspect dreaming crest.
Right.
They have it currently on the PTR, and it was a vendor that you buy it from. So my guess is in game, when it goes live, it'll be a vendor that you buy it from. I don't know who that vendor will be, how it's all gonna work, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see soon. Yeah. You want to take us through the PTR testing?
All right. So let's see here. For the the Mythic Plus stuff, so we have some testing going on this week that has started today, a little while back, and then gonna go on till Monday. All 8 dungeons are available, and we do have some timer changes. So we've got Galakron's Fall has dropped by 1 minute to 35 instead of 36. Murazon's Rise dropped from 39 to 37, so it's a 2 minutes less. Waycrest Manor went from 39 minutes to 36 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know why they have 40 seconds in there. It might as well just be 37 minutes instead. I don't know. It seems weird. It's the only dungeon that doesn't end on a solid just minute.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But that was a 2 minute and 20 second reduction. Blackrook Hold went from 39 minutes to 36 minutes. So that's a 3 minute reduction. and Everbloom dropped from 35 to 33, so there's a 2-minute reduction. So a bit of a buff to the dungeons, because it makes them, less time. Makes them slightly harder to complete on time. But quite frankly, I don't think most of these dungeons will take that long anyway. I think you're looking at 25 to 30 minutes is how long it'll take most of these dungeons to get done.
Yeah.
But get in there, test out some dungeons. I know we're gonna be working on getting some
guides,
footage in the dungeons so that I can work on my guides tonight. So we'll have that going on. And then
Okay, so moving on, we have one last thing to touch on, which is the most recent. Actually, before that, I got one more thing I wanted to say before I forget.
All right.
If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of people playing Hardcore Classic right now for the Makarad tournament at the end of the month. It's by Starforge PCs. They're hosting it, and it's 100,000 prize pool. Winner takes 50 grand, and then the rest is gonna spread out among the top of their classes. My understanding is that all the classes will be fight between themselves until you have a winner, and then they'll face off against other classes. So if you're a hunter, you're gonna face another hunter, and you should keep going through that until you're the number 1 hunter, and then you fight the number 1 of a different class. So there's a lot of people really playing, because they announced it I think last week, and the server was gonna be on, so everyone had to start fresh, so you couldn't have an advantage. And so there's a lot of people spending a lot of time trying to get the 60 as fast as they can, so they can start getting the best gear possible, so they have the most time to gear up. Because it's not like you just gear up really easily,
Right.
So you have to spend a lot of time gearing up, but you have to be careful at the same time, because if you're geared and you die, your character's deleted. You have to start over again.
Yep.
So that's something that to watch at the end of the month. I think it's the 30th or 30. Is that 31st in October? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's either the 30th.
31st.
It's like either the 30th or 31st. Okay. Yeah. So that'd be interesting to watch. It'll probably be a couple days long, I would imagine, because they have a lot of people that really signed up for it. So yeah, I know some streamers that I watched a little bit recently have been all advertising it, because they have it in their names. They go SFMG in the back of their name to be part of the grouping.
So I have the dates here if you want them.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So character creation started on October 6th.
Okay.
The leveling dates are the 6th to the 30th.
Yep.
Qualifiers are on the 30th, and the finals are on the 31st of October.
Okay. So that's something that'd be interesting to watch. I don't play hardcore. I don't play vanilla, but I'm still probably going to watch it, because it's pretty exciting. I think it's pretty cool to have a company invest into WoW, because it's just good for the game itself to have more exposure and have more people playing. I think it's good for the game.
Right.
So yeah, I know that Blizzard hasn't contributed anything to this tournament, so I don't know if they would. It's already basically done with this Starforge PCs. But yeah, 100K is a good chunk of money, and being a winner and getting 50 grand for playing some WoW is awesome.
For sure.
So yeah, so I just wanted to say that before I forgot about it. It's something to watch. It'll be fun. Anyone can play it. If you want to just try, go for it.
Right. And speaking of hardcore classic, I want to give a shout out to the Guild Frontier and congratulate them on their world first Calphalas kill
on heroic, heroic mode.
Yep. On hardcore mode, yep.
Hardcore mode, yeah.
One of the raiders for them, Grimmel, is part of our Race for World First team as well. So congratulations to him and Frontier on a big accomplishment. I think they had 6 people die right before they killed it. So,
oh jeez,
they still got the kill though. They still got the kill. Yeah. So that's what matters.
Yeah.
But all right, let's jump into that class too.
Okay, yeah. So
I've been dying to go over all this.
I'm gonna let you cover the Demon Hunter stuff first because you know more about it than me.
All right.
So you just go through Havoc and Vengeance and kind of give your opinion, and then we can go into some other classes.
Yep. All right. So concentrated sigils has been removed. Thank goodness. Next, they just need to get rid of precise sigils too. Precise and concentrated sigils, there's no point in either of them.
What exactly was concentrated?
They're concentrated sigils, I believe, is the one that targets the player. I believe.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Concentrated sigils. I don't know them that well because I never use them. But the big thing. So yes, concentrated sigil makes all sigils target where you're at, the player. The precise sigils targets whatever enemy you're targeting is at. 99% of people that are playing Demon Hunter at, a somewhat decent level, you're not using that anyway. You're using a cursor macro, so it's gonna you don't care about those. However, there's been a bug where cursor macros, if you swap from one spec to the other, then all of a sudden your cursor macros for the sigils don't work unless you have the concentrated or precise sigils in there, selected as a talent anyway. But then if you have that selected, it overrides your cursor macro, so it was really dumb. But precise sigils is still in there. It needs to go away. But the bigger thing that was good was that with these changes for 10.2, currently on live, the concentrated and precise sigils, those two talents, because it's a choice, you get to pick one or the other, they also increase the duration of your sigils by 2 seconds. That is really strong, but it forces you to have to pick one of those two sigil types, and nobody wants that because we can everything those sigils that those talents do, we can do with a macro. Without having to have the talent. So it's really dumb that it forces us to pull into those, but they removed the 2 second duration extension on that, and that's now part of its own separate talent on the Vengeance tree build. So that actually has been taken care of, so that's excellent. Now you don't have to take concentrated sigils because it's gone, and you don't have to take precise sigils because it's just not necessary anymore. It's still in there. They honestly should just get rid of it as well, but whatever. So for Havoc, we have Tactical Retreat and Unbound Chaos swap talent locations. Burning Hatred now generates an additional 40 Fury. Inner Demon now reduces damage beyond 5 targets. Initiative damage bonus reduced to 18% instead of 20%. And Chaotic Disposition Chaos damage duplicated reduced to 17% plus 21%. However, that still hits like a truck.
That's insane,
The big thing I think we want to talk about is Fel Barrage and Immolation Aura. So Fel Barrage, it was really, really strong. They've nerfed it. I think it's still going to be really strong in lower keys, but I think the longer fights goes on, the Immolation Aura talent, I can't remember what it's called, but it causes you to have 2 charges of Immolation Aura, and it has, a 30% chance to reset the cooldown, or to refund a charge. And then it also just... it allows you to have multiple applications of Immolation Aura going at once, and on a longer duration fight, that is going to be so strong in my opinion, having the Immolation Aura. So I think that's going to be really good for AoE. On to Vengeance. We have the Dark Glare Boon and the Sigil of Misery talents. Oh, that's actually not Sigil of Misery. They messed that up. That's actually Sigil of Chains is what swapped. So Dark Glare Boon and Sigil of Chains have swapped talent locations. This one I love. Fel Devastation cooldown reduced to 40 seconds instead of 1 minute. That is huge. That is so huge.
They put it in line with Havoc's Eye-Beam.
Yes, that's so huge. Fiery Brand now deals damage every second instead of every 2 seconds, but it deals half the damage that it normally dealt. So it still deals the same amount of damage over 10 seconds. It's whatever. It's just a ticking. It's just a mechanic wise. It doesn't really make any difference. However, the Burning Alive talent now causes Fiery Brand to spread every second instead of every 2 seconds. That is very big for quickly getting damage mitigation up to enemy mobs in like Mythic Plus and any AoE situation. Because originally the 2 seconds, you have 5 targets. It takes 10 full seconds for Fiery Brand to spread to everything. Now it only takes 5 seconds, That's huge. That is absolutely huge. So I love that change. But I do think that a lot of the other changes for Vengeance, Sigil of Flame was buffed quite a bit. It's going to give it much more threat generation than it has in the past, which is excellent because that's one thing we were lacking on. Let me see here. What else did I say? I think there's some interesting play builds with the Sigil of Flame because there's a lot of talents on the Vengeance side that buff your sigils, and I think it's going to be an interesting build. I definitely want to try it out at some point and see how it plays. I'm looking forward to that. I do think defensively, Vengeance is going to still struggle a little bit, but I think the buff to Fell Devastation and the fact that Metamorphosis is now a 2-minute cooldown once you take the correct talents, that's big for Vengeance, because that's always been our biggest issue is defensively. We don't have enough defensive cooldowns. We're lacking compared to all the other tanks have way more defensive capabilities than us. Our tier bonus for this season covered that and made it so that we had the strongest. But that tier set is gone next season, so we're back to being really weak defensively.
I don't tank on Vengeance, but I still think that they should get Blur.
I would love Blur. That would make such a huge difference.
Maybe not maybe if they need to tone it down, so maybe you don't have to dodge, but just the damage reduction. I mean, that'd still be pretty good, hey?
Yeah. Now, that being said, and this is kind of an interesting talent, because I think the talent choice is between having 2 charges of Fiery Brand or having, I think, Sigil of Flame. Maybe it's with any. Hang on, let me pull up the talent calculator, because I think. So the talent is the Fiery Brand, which gives you 2 charges of Fiery Brand, which is, pretty nice and whatnot. But the other option, it goes into the that's not it. Where's the talent calculator? I thought I had the talent calculator, but I did not. 100 Vengeance. All right, so the other talent is so the first choice is Firebrand has a 15-second reduced cooldown and 1 additional charge, which is currently everyone's using that talent. But they're adding a talent choice. I wish it wasn't a choice. I wish you just have both of these options. But the other one is sigils, all sigils. So that's your Sigil of Silence, your Sigil of Flame, your Sigil of Change, your Elysian Decree, all that stuff has 2 charges instead of 1. And whenever any enemies that are affected by your Sigil of Flame you have a 20% increased chance to parry attacks from enemies afflicted by Sigil of Flame. So that's kind of like having Blur up for that time.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is gonna be interesting, because I don't know how much stronger parry is compared to just a flat out damage reduction. But I think that could make an interesting play for Sigil and Sigil of Flames, especially. I believe with the proper builds, Sigil of Flame, I think it's... Where's Sigil of Flame? Sigil of Flame's now baseline, I guess. I think that's the case. I think it's baseline. But your Sigil of Flames, so you can reduce the cooldown by 3 seconds every time you use a sigil. Your sigils last for 2 seconds longer. Your Sigil of Flame does a bunch more damage. Your Fury. Alright, so I think essentially your Sigil of Flame should be able to last for 10 seconds, I think. And then having 2 charges, you have 20 seconds, and I think it's like a 30-second cooldown, maybe less than that. I'll have to test it on PTR and see. But that's pretty high uptime on that parry chance if you have that going. Especially with the additional charge and the cycle of binding, which allows your... anytime you use a sigil, all of your other sigils that are in cooldown are reduced by 3 seconds. So that's a big change there. I think that talent, I don't know if it's going to be better than Fiery Brand, and I think it definitely forces you to play to the Sigil build, but I think for Mythic Plus, the Sigil build may have a spot in there. I also really like Dark Lair Boon now that Fell Devastation is a 40-second cooldown instead of a 1-minute cooldown. This Fell Devastation with Dark Lair Boon, it has a chance to refund 20 to 40 Fury, and it has a chance to, or it refreshes 20. Actually, it's not even a chance. It just automatically, it will refund 20 to 40 Fury, and it will refresh 20 to 40% of its cooldown. So that could potentially, you're guaranteed at 20%. That's guaranteed to make it a 32-second cooldown, and potentially could drop it to a 24-second cooldown. So that's a big change there, which makes that Fell Devastation better. So I really like Dark Lair Boon going into this next season with Fell Devastation being lesser cooldown.
Cool.
Yes, you take over.
So I'm not going to go over the classes I don't really know much, like balance, so we'll just continue on.
Right.
So we have Devastation buffs. It's all spell and ability damage increased by 3%, and Disintegrate increased by 15. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not going to make them better at Augmentation by any means, but it actually will help Devastation out a lot in PvP, I think. Just having that Disintegrate damage buffed even more. It already does a lot of damage as is, but that 15% might be a little bit much in PvP. But in PvE, it's like, you know, it's definitely helps on priority targets and single target fights, but it's not, like I said, the augmentation is just still better. Some Mistweaver changes. There was some buffs to Windwalker. They increased Rising Sun Kick by 10%, Defensive Fury by 5%, and it does 10% more damage to primary targets. Whirly Dragon Punch got buffed again, because I know it was buffed recently, so another 10%. And then they changed some tier stuff I'm not going to go into because I don't know enough about it. And then on to the Rogue. So Assassination, they increased Leeching Poison to grant 10% leech instead of 5. That does not apply in PvP, which is fine, because you don't really run Leech in PvP to begin with. But so the 10% is nice for PvE. It helps, like, makes it a little more tankier. They're actually healing for quite a bit of damage. Crimson Tempest was reduced by 5%, which honestly is fine. I think it's fine. From my testing as Assassination, Crimson Tempest is insane. The damage it was doing is just bonkers. I think the 5% is not going to change their position in people's tier lists if they have them. I think Assassination is still top spec in the game and is up there competing with Outlaw in some scenarios. And so here's another change, is that there's an ability, I don't know if you know this, that when you're attacking, you have a chance to get the ability to use Ambush regardless of stealth or not, and you can just use it once. So the thing that changed is that the blind side of the town, the proc ambush just automatically replaces Mutilate, so you don't have to have the ambush binded like I had to, you know, like it's taking up a spot now.
Yeah, that's definitely a good change.
Yeah, so I'm glad for that too, and that counts for the other specs as well, Outlaw and Sub.
Nice.
So this build called Sanguine Blades has been tweaked a lot recently. So basically, when you have bleeds up, and it counts for all three, Garrote, Rupture, and Crimson Tempest, when you're above a certain energy threshold, like I think it's like 150 energy or higher, you're automatically getting ticks of damage extra off of your bleeds. So it's duplicating the damage it's like the damage by 25% was 20. So it just adds more of a dot feature to like what you already have going on. It's very strong. It was a lot stronger when the first PTR came out with this patch. So it was obviously they're going to nerf it from what it was, but I think it's at a very strong position now by going back to 25 and not 20. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to testing that out too. The last two things for Assassination, you have Sudden Demise, which increases your bleed damage with 10% flat out, and then when a target hits like 25 or 30% maximum health left, the bleeds will like trigger all at once to do like a big hit of damage. It does not consume the bleeds as far as I know. It just does the remaining damage just instantly. and then it has now a 10-second delay before it can do it again. Because my testing on PTR was a little scuffed on target dummies. They were already at 1 health from all the people testing. So I put my bleeds up, and then I just began to my procs like crazy, and it was doing a lot of damage, and because like everything's at 1 health, you have bleeds up on everything. So yeah, so the 10-second delay is fine. It's still, I think it's a good talent because it just, along with that execute phase, it does straight up increase bleed damage by another 10%, which is pretty cool. The foreset is now when used in Venom. You get a buff on yourself that increases the chance to put on poisons, I believe. If you use a Venom again while you have that buff, it did an explosion and hitting everyone around for the damage. Which means it wasn't very good in single target, but they changed that to increase damage by 150% if it only hits 1 single target. So it makes it good for a single target as well, because it was awful for single target. So that's a good change. Not very much left. So we got Outlaw's Sinister Strike was increased by 10%. I know people are putting Outlaw and Havoc as like the top specs for Mythic Plus currently in the meta, which can change obviously, but this is what people are kind of testing out a lot. And the Outlaw had insane AoE damage for every pull. Like, there's always constant AoE, but their single target was not the best. It wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best. So Sinister Strike buff can help with that single target. And then, like I said with the ambush, Audacity is just a different name for it. The ambush replaces Sinister Strike when it's procs. You don't have to have like ambush keep mining, which is nice. The big one for me that I'm looking at right now, and I'm looking forward to it in PvP, is Killing Spree increased by 25%, which is insane because on the PTR, it does about 200k over 2.7 seconds, I think it is. So 25% more, you're hitting like, it's gonna hit hard, and it doesn't say it doesn't affect, like it doesn't say not affected in PvP. So right as it is now, it's really strong in PvP. So Killing Spree is back. I think that's pretty cool because it's like an iconic ability from combat that Outlaw just had, but no one ever used. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I don't expect it to go 25%. I don't expect it to go live like that. It's a little strong.
Gotcha.
And then Subtlety is just a couple changes as well. Viscerate was increased by 8%. Exhilarating Execution now causes finishing moves to heal for 5% of the damage done, was 3, so a little extra healing, kind of like Leech, but a little bit weaker. The Shadowed finisher shadow damage value increased to 30%, was 25. I believe that's the talent where you use an attack, so there's a chance to summon a clone that'll do the attack again for like 50% of the damage that you did it as. I think I reduced it, 30% now. If I'm thinking of the talent correctly, I think, which is pretty cool. It's a cool ability for sure.
Nice.
And then this last one to go through, the Shuriken Tornado. So basically, Shadow Blaze is revamped this patch coming up, this 10.2. So before it was you pop Shadow Blades. It's a 2-minute cooldown. All it did is increase the damage of your combo point generator by 50%. Now they got rid of that. Now it's just straight up 20% increased damage, and every ability you use fills up your combo points. So you have 20 seconds of every ability filling up 7 combo points at a time, you know? So they changed it so Shuriken Storm, the tornado ability, does not give you the combo points from Shadow Blades. Because I don't know if you know much about Subtlety, but Shuriken Tornado is that ability that you just click, and like every second there's a Phantom Knives kind of ability, and it just fills up your combo points because of all the targets you're hitting.
Right.
So they're basically what they're doing, what people were doing in the beta, on the PTR, was that they would pop Shadow Blades and then click Shuriken Tornado, even if it was single target, because it's filling up combo points every global, so you have an extra global to just spam Eviscerate. So you just get like 4 Eviscerates off in 4 seconds without having to click anything else, because of how the combo points generated from Shadow Blades or whatever. So they're basically trying to get rid of that so that you don't use Shuriken Tornado in a single target fight, which I think is good for the game, because as strong as it and fun as it sounds, it was too strong.
Interesting.
Actually, I'm seeing this player here. My bad. I did not see this before talking about killing spree. It says killing spree damage no longer increased in PvP combat was increased by 5%. I don't know if that counts towards the 25% that they put in, because it doesn't say. It just says like was increased by 5%. So I don't know. I could be wrong with the killing spree. I'm not sure. It's not very clear about what they're changing exactly.
Sounds like they're just saying that it's not going to be increased.
Yeah, but they would have put the 25% and not just the 5%. So I'm a little bit confused. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I doubt killing spree buff will go live in PvP. And that's the changes.
Well, I think what they're saying is that I think the killing spree maybe was only 5%, only increased by 5% in PvP, and now it's not going to be increased at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, very possible, yeah. Because like how it was just too strong to go live.
Right. Yep.
But I do like the possibility of being able to run killing spree in PvE though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, can you go on?
I'd say so. That's pretty much most of the tuning that we wanted to go over today. There's some other tuning stuff for shamans, warriors, some warlock tuning and stuff. So feel free to check out the PTR notes and take a look at those. We'll definitely have more tier set tuning as well. So they've been making quite a bit of changes. It's looking like this upcoming season will be the season of melee DPS finally.
I sure hope so.
And augmentation.
Augmentation, hunter, rogue combos.
Yeah, it'll be. Oh yeah, we'll see a lot of augmentation, demon hunter, rogue. But I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of tuning and changing that'll go through anyway.
I just hope that they don't.
Right now, the top. So Icy Veins has their current PTR tier list, which was updated as of 3 days ago. And 6 out of the top 6, 5 are melee, and then there's augmentation at number 1. so we may have melee, and then out of the top 10, you also throw in sub rogue as well. So every rogue spec is in the top 10 according to their tier list.
Oh yeah,
so that's nice.
All three in a great spot. I'll be looking forward to playing any of the 3.
Survival Hunters actually bounced back up quite a bit. They're 12 at the moment.
They're doing actually pretty good from from content I've watched. Survival has some serious AoE burst now.
Yeah.
Again, looks like their bombs are getting increased with Fear the Eagle and etc.
Yep, and they have Devastation Evoker at the very bottom. And last 27th.
Yeah,
but they have parentheses that it needs more testing. So and also again the caveat with all tier lists is we don't know where anything's going to play out until we start the season. We still have about a month, a little less than a month, so there's going to be 3-4 more weeks of tuning. I doubt we'll see too much tuning the week of BlizzCon because they're going to be a little busy and getting ready. I think they'll have everything. My personal opinion is I think that by the time the week of BlizzCon hits, they want to have all their tuning done, and then they can just roll out the patch as soon as BlizzCon's over with that very next week. So essentially, all the people that are working on everything will have that week off, but they'll be working at BlizzCon. But I think that about covers everything for tonight. So, what was your week in WoW been like, sir?
It's been low key. We didn't really do much.
Right.
I don't know. I did a lot of PvP. I got my elite set of my rogue and my evoker. Kind of working on my death knight now, but
I know what you haven't talked about yet. What'd you get on your evoker?
So 4 weeks now, I think,
I'm not sure. I think you had the item the last episode. I don't think you had the actual the quest side, but I don't think you had the actual legendary yet.
Yeah, so I've got the legendary on my evoker, and I checked my statistics, my achievement log, whatever, and just see how many kills I had. I had 13 heroic kills for to get it.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah, so I thought it was like 9 or something. So I didn't think I did that many, but Yeah, I got it on my 13th. I think I did four normal kills as well.
Right.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I got it. I kind of wish Devastation was a little bit better because I really enjoyed that spec.
Right.
But it is what it is.
I think they just need to buff it massively, in my opinion.
Yeah. I did really enjoy the spec. It hasn't been good.
Yeah, it's one of the weakest DPS specs for Mythic Plus right now. So
Yeah.
I think they need to get some big giant buffs on it. Make your I don't know exactly how they can change it without making it too strong and single target, because a lot of the stuff affects it single targetly, but I think maybe I don't know. I think you just see some big tuning changes.
I think the tier set's a really good direction, though, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
So just go over it real quickly. It's like you have Dragon Rage, 2-minute cooldown. You know that ability, right?
Yep.
So for every 5 seconds you're in Dragon Rage, you get a 5% damage buff up to 25%. And then it stays for all of Dragon Rage, and then it stays for 25 seconds after Dragon Rage ends.
Gotcha.
So you have, and it procs it one of those free casts of like your Disintegrate or Pyre.
Mm-hmm.
Every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds you get a free one as well.
Nice.
So I think that the set's really cool and it's very strong. I just don't know if I don't know what exactly they need to fix though, because I feel like
they just honestly they just need overall damage increase, because that's the biggest issue. They have great utility, they have great defensiveness, they just don't do enough damage. That's the biggest issue. I think you could honestly give them. I know they just got a 3% damage buff. I feel like you could honestly give Devastation like a 10% across the board damage buff, or maybe 10% to everything except for Disintegration. I don't know. I think Disintegration needs it anyway, but I think they're just damage wise. I know from looking at Warcraft logs, they fall way below the top specs, like way below. Actually, let me look real quick right now and get the numbers, because
like I said, I coming into Dragonflight, it was probably my favorite spec to play.
Right.
If it felt, I'm still gonna play it. I don't know. I kind of wish it was better. But that being said, I have faith that Blizzard can fix it. So I will continue to play my Evoker, so I can play it when it's good.
Right.
Yeah. So I think just in like the meantime, I'll just play Augmentation until I can play Dev.
Yeah. So right now, your top specs. I mean, heck, Guardian Druid's able to do 200k at the high level, but like your DPS, Frost Mage, Shadow Priest, all that, they're sitting about 30-40k above Devastation. So like it's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I'll continue to play it because I do really enjoy Evoker. So.
Right. All right. And as far as my weekend WoW, it basically was non-existent. I think we did a couple keys with your parents. I think Thursday or maybe Friday. I don't remember. And then
we did a couple.
Then we did, I think, 2 keys on my monk, maybe 3 keys. And yeah, then I had food poisoning and I barely logged back into the game. So not a lot done on my end, but jumping back into it this week, we shall see what happens. But yep, that's about it. I got some Race World First stuff going on this week as well, getting prepped and stuff. Got a long ways to it, but it's been fun. But anyway, I think that is about it. So feel free, if you have any questions, comments, anything said, whatever. Feel free to hit up the chat, the chat, and leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, whatever, all that good stuff.
Yep.
On our YouTube channel, which mine is Buckblind the Demon Hunter, where this will be posted at. Twitch, you can catch me at I guess now it's x.tv. I don't know what it is. Or not Twitch, Twitter. It's at BuckblindDH for whatever X you want to call it. I don't know. I'm still calling it Twitter because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then for Twitch, I'm twitch.tv/Buckblind. And then bio, what are yours?
Just QQ_Bioshock for Twitch and YouTube.
There we go. All right, so there it is. Episode 30 is a wrap. So, and I know we are nearing, if not already hit, the 1 year mark of us starting the podcast. I don't remember. Let me be here because I know we're close.
Yeah, it's getting there.
When was the first episode? Pull this up real quick on my channel playlist. The first episode was, just says 1 year ago. Just give me an exact date. September 30th. Yeah, so we are just over a year now since we're at our 1 year anniversary. So I guess this will be our season 2, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this will be season 2, episode 1. But we'll keep counting 30 episodes. So yeah, no, awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that is gonna do it for now. So everyone, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and have a wonderful night.
Bye.